ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Truck is running. Every time that thing does a freaking like either a cold start or a high idle, scares the bejesus out of me. Way too many runaway videos. So for right now, we'll let the old girl warm up. And then we're gonna, I gotta go put air in the tire and get propane. I won't show you that. All right, here's where we're at. I didn't really get a whole lot done. All we really did, hook the shocks back up, brake lines back up, sway bars hooked back up, getting this wiring kind of lined up here. So, I said in a previous video, I bought a big old like friggin' there's Big B's nest. All right, well, we didn't get too much done today. Really, all today was about was just prepping it all I was really doing was prepping the truck to move it to my house. Where I have the truck now is at my parents' house because when I originally bought that truck, I didn't have room for it because I didn't have my own house. I was living with other people and I didn't have room to have it there. My parents were, awesome enough to let me leave it there and work on it the first time around that I built it. Which, speaking of, that truck was built at one point in time. I bought it was bone stock, and then I built it, I lifted it, wheels and tires. But when I bought it, the transfer case was trashed. It was a half ton. It was a weird transfer case I'd never even seen before. It's always been a 4-speed truck. But when I bought it, like I said, bone stock, trashed, half ton axles, everything was completely wore out. And I actually spent quite a bit of money. I put 3/4 ton running gear under it, 6-inch lift. I bought a different transmission and transfer case. I bought a whole other Suburban that I pulled the engine out of. And I had these big wild ideas. I was going to do this like show truck thing, and I was going to restore it completely and replace a bunch of sheet metal and this, that, and the other, and none of that happened. I did get it to a point where it was running and driving. I drove it, a while, and then I was driving down the road one day, and it kind of acted funny a little. It started kind of acting weird, just not like it wanted to die and stuff like that. And the engine it was in, it was a good engine. It ran really good. But then it kind of cleaned up and everything was okay. And I was going down the road, and I pushed the clutch in to shift, and there was this big blue light under the dashboard that scared the crap out of me. So I decided at that point in time that I was going to put it back into my parents' backyard so that I could work on it again. And I was going to rewire the whole thing, because that was why the blue light happened, was because it was a electrical deal. And what I did was I ended up ripping all of the old school tube fuse stuff. I just ripped it out, ripped all the wiring out of that truck. Every wire I could find, I pulled out of that truck. And I got what I've talked about in the past, the blade fuse thing for it. And it's a 24 circuit blade fuse block that I put in there. The reason I did that was because I had the Suburban, and the Suburban was a Silverado. So it had power windows, power locks, a lot of nice stuff. And I was going to move all of that stuff out of the Suburban and into that pickup. Because like I said, show truck, that's what I was going for. I wanted it to be a very nice vehicle when I was done with it. And I planned on doing it over the course of a few years, Well, I've had the truck for 4.5 years now, none of that happened. And after I started wiring it, life happens. This led to that, some things here, there, yada, yada. And I ended up needing some money. So I sold the wheels and tires that I had so that I could make some money. And then, one thing led to another. Buddy at work's like, man, I'm looking for a small block. Do you know anybody? I was like, man, I got one, runs really good. Still in the truck, we can fire it up. I can jimmy it so that I can fire it off, and you can listen to it run. So, and it just kind of, at that point I got the engine out, and when I pulled the engine, I took the transfer case off the transmission, pulled the engine and transmission together. And then, another buddy's like, hey man, what are you doing with that engine and transmission? I'd give you this much money for it. I was like, dude, come get it. So it kind of pulled itself apart. But now I'm at a place where I have enough that I could at least build it to be a mud truck. So that's the point, that's the plan. But, today's video, just to get it ready to move, I just put the, like I said, shocks, sway bar, that kind of stuff back on it, hook some brake lines back up. And that was really it. So hopefully the next video will be the truck moving to my house. I have room for it as long as I do everything just right. The problem is I don't have room for the truck and a trailer. So I got to kind of figure that out. And yes, I do plan on building a trailer. I'm going to get an RV frame and try to turn that into a car hauler. I would prefer a fifth wheel. We'll see how it all goes. Anyway, that's kind of the future plans. So hope you enjoyed. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you're here for the first time, hit that subscribe button. See you all in the next one.